stream, finishing off this thing. I've tried enough already, out already enough, and time to finish this one. Very excited to finish this set. These are the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th bags of the set, so split it up into 4 bags each for 3 bits of it. And now let me make sure this is all somewhat running reasonably well. Hopefully it gets a little bit better in terms of looking a little bit blurry, but get into this one bag 9 here for the door that leads into meat-like byproduct delivery entrance into the kitchen. Alright, so that one can go in right there. I love the lavender frames, windows and doors across this whole set. I think it's pretty cool, and I do quite like the colors. Maybe I should actually follow the instructions though and use the amount of pieces I need to finish this thing. So what's left of this build is going to be the rest of the kitchen space and the wall that makes up that, and then the roof is the last thing. I think this kitchen space, or at least most of it, will take up. Actually, it might be done after this one, and then after that, it's the I think some of the exterior stuff, landscaping, and then should end with the roof for 2 bags, it looks like, just with the orange pieces that should make up that section of the build. But I've enjoyed this one. It's been a fun one to put together. I think so far from sets this year, I think this one has got to be up there for me. Of course, judge it once it's finished, but other things so far this year that I've really enjoyed and have thought have been really good sets. The Shire definitely is one that's up there for me. I think the Happy Plants is a wonderful little set. And I think this one, as well as Django's UCS Slave one. Those are probably some of my favorites from this year. And yeah, I think this one's really strong and definitely up there as one of the better ones from the year. The Black Pearl, though, definitely is the one I'm most excited for, and very excited to see. Now putting together the menu area here with stickers. Now, of course, this one did have a ton of stickers. But after putting together all the Speed Champions F1 cars from this year, any sticker sheet really doesn't feel like much. Even though I think in total this one probably has more, considering that it's, I think, close to 2,000 pieces. It's nothing compared to like the 200 piece sets that the F1 cars are. Yeah, I like this sticker. I really do like the stickers in this one though. They're nice ones. They had some really nice detail to this set. There definitely are ones though that you want to get bang on. Like there's certain sets I feel like if you don't line up a sticker, it's not the end of the world. These ones are definitely pretty critical ones to the set itself. But I like how it looks, and quite pleased with it. I like the colors too. It's definitely very colorful compared to a lot of stuff that I tend to build in terms of like Star Wars, superheroes. All those themes tend to be a bit darker in their colors, so it's been fun putting together this one and to see just how bright it is. I think this bag, just with the trans yellow pieces, is going to be the little grease section that Homer and Bart are going to be collecting grease and then selling it off. I just watched a bit of Simpsons yesterday. I think a couple episodes. Watched the one with Bart in the golf tournament with Todd, and what was the other one I watched? I wonder. I feel like there was another one, but I don't remember anymore. But I think this is now the fryer, I would believe, is what this little build is. I like all the little builds in this one. It's for the different kitchen appliances. They're all pretty fun. Now this is an interesting piece, completely clear. It's a cool one. I like the look of it. Now, I wonder what. I guess this is probably the rest of the fryer, which is a cool little build. I don't entirely know what Krusty's frying, though. It'd probably be a bit questionable, considering what some of these stickers have got to say. Alright, that will just go right there, and the fryer, it's like, so you can actually, I think, can you remove it? I think you can remove the little fry tray from the build. That's pretty fun. I like the Wolverine claw piece in gold for the fries. It's a cool parts usage. There's all the loose pieces I find in this one so far, just different drinks and different items like that are usually just sat there loose in the build, which of course if you're moving it around is not the best thing, but I don't think that's totally necessary to do. Now that fits in there really nice. That's a cool little boat. I like it. Alright, and now it's the grill is the next part of the build. Ooh, some lime green. Reminds me of, hello. A bit of lime green here. Been building a decent amount of power miners lately, so the lime green definitely reminds me of that. And this is the Dredrick Tatum Industrial Grill. That's cool. I don't know if, of course he doesn't have a Lego minifigure, but I don't know if he's been referenced before. That's cool. I didn't realize that was a detail in the set. That's pretty fun. It's a cool one. Cool little addition. And then the red pieces underneath the grill bits to look a bit like some fire elements is a cool addition. This actually, I think this section might still have a few more bits of it before it's finished, but it's definitely not more than one bag after this, because it looks like there's a bunch of orange after this, which is going to be the roof. That's might be my favorite sticker of this set so far. It's a cool one. Alright, and now a bit more of the actual wall, I guess. Oh, there's a bit of a cutout into the side of the wall, or maybe not. Never mind. It's just built up so that I can connect. I was wondering how those pieces were going to line up. Now I can see it. Interesting that this size uses medium nougat for the wall, but I guess that's common across a lot of the bottom of the building, so makes sense. And now the next part is of this kitchen, I guess some of the controls for the grill, potentially, of some sort. Or just an additional, I don't entirely know what part of it this is. But there's a fork in the next part, that's for sure. I think this might be one of my favorite sections so far to put together. I like the different small builds. Oh, hello, and thanks for watching it for a little bit. Yes, it is part of the fryer. That's cool. Cool bit of it. Alright, so that will connect in to the rest of the build, and I guess actually the wall might be finished. It came together quite quickly. Well, I guess this is the air conditioner now, and the grease leaking out of the back of the fryer, it would seem like. All these trans yellow and red pieces remind me of putting together the base of Baradur from last year. Quite similar in a few ways. Oh, interesting. I was expecting it to be placed the other way around, and then the little mailbox piece got flipped. That creates a nice effect in the build. Alright, and then some sort of pipe system. Before the promotional period ends, though, the double points that are going right now, I've got to order some parts for the next section of the mock I'm working on that had a stream for a little while ago. So maybe today, maybe after this stream, I'll look into the parts that I'm going to need to order for the next section. I definitely want to get those in now before that double points and promo end. Definitely want to pick that up. Oh, okay, so this just finishes off the stove, grill, and frying station area with a little cover there, and then a shovel piece that they don't seem to be doing too well with, considering that it's got grease spilling everywhere. But that's one definitely common thing about a lot of the build, is that everything seems to be breaking down. I am from Canada, from Ontario in Canada. Alright, the extra pieces. And now this will get all connected together, ideally. Okay, there we go. Just need to put a bit more force to it, I guess. And that is the entire build itself put together. It's certainly tight and small, but I like that. I like the size of it. All right. So the next part, on to bag 10. Oh, I guess the next two bags are the roof, and then it ends with the exterior signage bits. Alright, there's been a bit of orange so far, but now the roof is certainly going to have a whole lot more. I like the angle of this this one. Oh, and I'm gonna need soon the big 16 by 16, I believe, plate to finish off that roof. So I think it's just the angles of the roof with the orange plates, and then it's just a little, it's just a plate with a bit of detailing on top to finish it off. Alright, the different bracket and connecting pieces, so to get the angle required. And I guess that's why these particular call-out bits adding almost of the build. It's certainly small, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from the entire thing. But I liked it right from the start. It's quite a nice set. I think it's I think by the end of it, I think it's probably going to go up to my #1 spot currently for the year. I think top 3 though, probably Django's Slave One, the UCS set was really quite good. And the Shire I thought was quite nice. The Happy Plants are always also very cute, and have got to be up there for me from the year. But this one, quite impressed with it. I just don't think it will be able to hold off the Black Pearl. But I always knew that if a new Black Pearl was to come out, that was probably going to take my #1 spot. Because the original one is, it's not, I guess looking at it now at on my shelves, it really isn't the best thing in the world. But it's a pretty cool set, and I like it. So I'm sure the one this year is going to be a whole lot better, but I like this one. I'm happy with the size of it, that it's not too big, even though I think next to the other Simpsons sets, it does look a bit small, especially in comparison to like the Quickie Mart, that I think it's supposed to be smaller in universe, but of course the size of things in Springfield doesn't really matter. So just changes depending on what's needed for the episode. Because I was watching, that was the other episode that I watched last night that I was trying to think of, was Flaming Moe's, and it was funny how it was like entirely new rooms of the bar were revealed that wouldn't make sense in the space, but the interior of it just changes. I love that and I guess this is the same case, is that the similar idea to that with the Quickie Mart. Alright, now these angled bits, I guess that's going to be the to limit the gaps between the build. That's going to be certainly intriguing to see how few gaps, or I guess how many gaps there are between the roofs. I really haven't looked at a finished version of this set. Well, in person I definitely haven't, but in images for a while, so I really don't remember entirely what the finished product looks like, but it's certainly coming together quite quickly here. Little angled bits, which are going to be quite helpful in creating the connections or limiting the gaps between the different roof panels. And I guess bag 11 is going to be continuing that roof system along with the 16 by 16 plate that will go in the center of it, which I believe you need to remove in order to open up the set. It sort of locks everything in place, and then once you remove it, you can get a bit of an access into the build. All right, the first actual section of the roof. There's been a bit of lime green today, and now this orange. It's really reminding me, because I've definitely worked with a decent amount of those colors recently, building a decent amount of Power Miners stuff, that it's reminding me of doing that. I actually just built one this morning, so. All right. Now I guess a bit of the angle, and then giving it a little bit of depth with these 1x4 plates on top of 1x4 tiles. Well, that's interesting. Alright, and I think that would probably be it for this first section, which will clip in there, and that it's looking good. Alright, the next one, which I'm assuming this is probably going to be the most repetitive part of the build, with very similar techniques used to create the overall look of the roof. Don't know if it's maybe it's the corner bits next. There's definitely not enough parts there to do the entire other side. I was thinking they were going to do both this side, and then the next one would be the opposite ones, but just by the look of the parts here, actually there might be enough. That might be what they're doing. And this section is much smaller bit, and just like the other ones, they're spaced 3 studs apart, and those two roof panels line up quite nice. There's a little bit of it where, okay, so it might just be doing the other side, I guess. I wasn't thinking there was going to be enough, but now looking at them, there definitely is. So it will be the other side of the build, or at least I would assume so, considering that this step is the exact same as the previous one. Should be just the opposite side of it, and seems symmetrical to it, so that should be fun. Yeah, now I think doing enough of these now, I will know what I've got to do. Space these little bits 3 studs apart, and I guess that would have been a fun bit, because you gotta, right from the start of the build, designing this thing, you've got to know that it's it's interesting that I think, when designing this thing, to get those symmetrical bits to work, you need to know what the roof was going to look like before you designed anything else. I think the roof probably was the first thing to design of this entire build. If I would, just by the look of it, because you definitely would have needed those bits to be symmetrical, so you couldn't just start placing bricks anywhere to create the base of the building and then build up from there, because it wouldn't have worked. So I think if I'm gonna guess, that they probably started with the roof first and then went from there. So sort of a top-down approach to designing the build, which is certainly an interesting design philosophy. And actually, I guess it's not. It is close to it. I guess it's just it's 4 studs apart on the middle sections, which is the same across all of them. So I guess it fits. So maybe not. I guess they might have just figured it out along the way. Who knows? Okay. So wondering why I had a 1x6 plate that didn't exactly fit there, but alright, 16x16 base plate and bag 11. One of my favorite parts of this part of it will be how I'm assuming that you won't really be able to see the air conditioning unit that's going to be right at the top from the ground level, just as what a parapet wall would attempt to do, or would do, which is fun. Of course, it's there's no being a Lego set and not being really thick enough for it, and no real structure to it. There's no slope in what is going to be a flat roof here, which is of course going to be an issue, but maybe not in Springfield. Maybe the rain or snow or any sort of conditions don't hit the Krusty burger, and don't have to worry about that, so the roofs can just be as flat as they want in Springfield without any issues. I should design a Lego mock that is like properly structurally built. It would be annoying, but I think it'd be kind of fun to attempt. Be a bit stupid, but I think it'd be kind of fun. Now this is interesting. Just by the look of the pieces, the other side is going to be built. I'm sure it's the same size, but it's going to be using different types of plates, which is interesting that they didn't just go with the second method in this one on both sides, because it sort of reduces the amount of slight gaps, because there's not a gap, but there's definitely, it's a visible point of connection between the plates. So I don't know, it's interesting that for the next one it's going to be slightly different. Now this one is all separated by interesting. Maybe they didn't think of it. I think when designing this thing, I think it would have been best to I don't think they did, just by the look of this section then. My prediction of it being designed from the roof down might not be correct, because it's now not entirely symmetrical on this side. It's 3 studs between them, and then it jumps to 4 studs between them on the I think just by looking at this section of it, if I had been designing this set, I probably would have started from the roof to ensure that these particular plate bits were symmetrical. So I don't know, it looks a little bit strange not having the gap of 3 between every single one of them. But that's just more me being an architect and always looking for symmetry most of the time in design, so that's just my critique on the set, and it's a very minor thing, but it's certainly a thing nonetheless. I guess they did this to try to reduce the repetition of the overall build, because it's definitely a lot less because of the how this one's built, which is a fine. Oh, actually, it's 2 different sections. That's interesting. I wonder why that's going to be. I guess actually it was, okay, no, that actually makes sense. Yeah, I see now why they had to do that, so the sections could split apart. Makes sense. I think there's a lot of considerations. I think certain sets you can sort of just design. However, this one, just by the look of it, especially in this roof section, there was a lot you sort of had to consider before really getting going on the design, which I enjoy taking a look at and checking out and figuring out. It's a good one. All right, and that split of 4, I guess it is, like, it's somewhat symmetrical. It's just, it's a bit odd having the gap that you wouldn't necessarily want to have. So I guess the solution to that would have either been reducing the overall footprint of the set by 1 stud, which gets into the issue of you're no longer able to use like all the 1x6s and the 1x4s they used to build up the walls. Instead, you're using a bunch of 1x1s, and I guess there's certain things like that. And then, of course, if you want to have it all split by 4 studs between the different parts, it would be an increase of 3 studs, and then that of course gets into an issue. So it's definitely would have been a bit tough to make the entire thing, those plates, symmetrical. But I guess looking at it now, it's barely something noticeable, but it's definitely just something that I picked up on while building it, because it's, I guess, just in my head when I'm designing a building, is that windows and stuff and just certain things like that, little details, you'd rather be symmetrical than all over the place. Alright, and this should do it for the roof. Be better though if I actually angled these parts correctly and not like I originally had them. That will help a lot. How's it going? Alright, how do these go in there? I like the lack of a gap that they've created with the these parts. This roof, as much as I have a slight issue with the fact that it's not entirely symmetrical, um, is quite well built. Maybe it's just the exposed light bluish gray that's not ideal, but there's a decent amount of it throughout the build. So in that way, it's not the oddest thing that could happen. All right, now the roof itself. Yeah, I definitely enjoy building a good Star Wars set, and am interested and excited for the summer sets this year. They look pretty nice. Definitely excited for that snow speeder. That might be the one I'm most excited for. But yeah, love myself some Star Wars, that's for sure. Yeah. And the V19 as well. That looks quite nice. Especially, I think the leaked Obi-Wan from this week looks pretty nice, pretty solid. Looks like a cool one. Alright, the roof structure. I like this roof. It's has some details to it. I think I don't believe though it has as many as some of the other Simpsons sets, but it's still quite nice. The little air conditioning unit is a cool addition to it. Definitely like that. Alright. The fan. And that in there. Oh, I completely forgot. I can't believe I forgot that he hadn't been in the set yet. This is the one thing I guess I've really been excited for with this set. If there's one thing, this was definitely it, and it'll be Mr. Sideshow Bob. But the Krusty Burger, the building itself, is now complete, and it looks really nice. I quite like it. Alright. Last bag. Bag 11. And to start off this bag, or not bag 11, it's 12. My goodness, can't read. To start off this bag, it's gonna be Mr. Sideshow Bob. There's a new molded headpiece. It's quite nice. And I think there's also the sign we'll go into this section. All right. Quite a tall minifigure. Probably I've got her here. So I think the tallest Simpsons figure is probably Marge. But Sideshow Bob is very, very close. So definitely quite close with Bob here with his hair. It looks cool. He's a bit, I think the hair is a bit flat, but for one molded piece, it looks pretty good. All right. And the last part of this build will be the Krusty Burger sign. And I guess this will fill in the last 4 stickers or so. Actually, I think those eyes are just one thing, or they're multiple stickers instead of just one thing, which is a bit disappointing. It won't be the most fun thing to line up, but the Krusty Burger sign itself is nice enough. I guess this is a burger, I think, is what this particular section of the build is meant to be. Now, how exactly does that stay in there without, because there's no real point of connection. Interesting. Did I actually do this correctly? I need to look and check. Okay, no, I don't think. Okay, there we go. That. Okay. I see now. Does that seem like a bit of an odd thing to have in at least a Lego set, an official Lego set? Something you maybe find like a custom one, just having it stuck there, not real, any support to it. That works a whole lot better, and actually stays in there. Alright, to line this thing up, probably go here, and I dropped something. Looked like something small, so hopefully by the time I actually get to building with that part, won't actually need it. But I guess we'll see once I get to it. always like using dark orange in sets. It's definitely one of my favorite colored parts in Lego's color palette. It's a cool one. Alright. There's one. And there. Is the next one. And the Krusty Burger sign looks pretty lined up there, so should be good to go. Well, I guess this is Krusty's hands holding the burger. The sign is quite large. Bunch more dark orange. Some 1x5. Where's it? Yeah, it's 5. Plates. Okay. Dropped another one. Hopefully that's it's not the most important thing, but I guess I shall see in a little bit whether or not that was a very important piece, and I'm gonna have to go find it. So I like this sign. It looks pretty cool, well built. Alright, now Krusty's head, I believe, is going to be the next part of the sign, which will include a few more stickers that aren't going to be the most fun ones to put together or put on the pieces, because they are probably going to be the most critical ones to perfectly line up, because the eyes, instead of just being one sticker, are 2. So gotta be pretty precise. Line them up. Do. A lot of teal in this section of the build for Krusty's hair. And now a bit of sand green. That's an interesting color to throw in. Guess they couldn't swap out the specific teal color. Yeah, it's cool so far. Enjoying it. Or not so far, it's almost right at the end. Okay, the eyes might actually be a bit easier to line up than I was gonna think. But eye, how's it going? Krusty the Clown is just about finished and put together. Alright. Krusty's face. And then the hair right at the top. And now the most fun part of this particular build is going to be lining up these stickers, because they are certainly, I feel like the shape of these ones could have been a little bit better to just make them one sticker. It makes more sense with the eyes now, looking how it needs to be done. Alright, there's the mouth. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a pretty solid one. Alright, I should put this one on first and then do the sticker on top of it so I can line up his tongue with the rest of his mouth. Alright, that seems pretty reasonable. His nose, and then the eyes. According to the instructions, somewhat offset. Alright, this is it. This is the make or break part of the build. If I mess up this one eye, the entire build's ruined. Maybe not to that degree, but okay, it's pretty reasonable. The face looks a bit creepy though, but that's not me. That's Lego designing it. That's a little bit creepy looking. But other than that, it's cool. Yeah, it's certainly a bit expensive for the price, but actually after building this one, I'm pretty pleased with it. I definitely think it's one of the better sets of the year that I've built so far. But yeah, I feel like when I think about it, a lot of my favorite sets from this year, or at least when I think like some of the my top two maybe, and probably this as well as the Shire, they both have that thing in common, is that they're all those sort of $200, $250 D2Cs, and they're a little bit expensive for their price. Alright, last sticker of the build. There it is. Pretty good. Well, now pretty much done, but other than it was good. It's a good one. I actually really enjoyed putting it together. Being an architect, part of me was slightly pissed off by the fact that the roof panels aren't entirely symmetrical, but that's just me nitpicking way too much. But beyond that, I haven't really found, except for maybe the price of the thing, something too negative with it. It's a pretty good one. Very good one. Alright, that's the front of it. And that's the sign. The sign is actually really big. Um, with the outside, Homer in his clown car, and definitely the highlight of this one, Mr. Sideshow Bob, who looks quite nice. I'll just put him on the roof to sneak through the little hatch at the top of the roof to potentially either attempt, I guess, to killing Bart or Krusty, whoever he chooses. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to like, I guess how I would. I don't know what the process of designing this one is, but I think if I had been designing at least bits of this portion, I definitely would have started with the roof because there's a few. It's almost perfect. The roof is near perfect, I think, but the fact that they've got these gaps of 3 between these plates, and then it jumps to 4 on some of it is just it's a little bit of a choice that I'm not entirely pleased with. But other than that, it's very solid, and of course the roof easily comes off, and then where is it? There it is. It's right here, I think. Oh, there it is. And all open, and all nice. It's certainly a little bit small, but not too bad. Maybe it's just the roof that's thrown me a little bit. Few gaps in there, but there's Sideshow Bob, and I guess everyone else can join in on it. I'll throw Itchy and Scratchy in there at the entrance to do something. But yeah, it's cool. I like it. I'm quite pleased with it. I think for that bit, to make it a bit more symmetrical, at least on the roof, I think maybe the inclusion of just taking away the car itself and adding those parts into the build, because I think it would require the build to be 3 studs wider in some way. But then you get a few issues with the amount of bricks they're using, but who knows. Well, that's it for today. It's over now, and it was a fun one, so thanks for talking about it. And yeah, it's been a fun one. But yeah, I thank you, and yeah, it's a cool build. I enjoyed it. Definitely one of my favorites from the year. I think from like top sets of the year that I can think of right now, this one, the Shire, the UCS Slave one, and probably the Tiny Plants or the Happy Plants. That's now probably my top 4 so far this year. Can't wait for the Black Pearl though. Very excited for that one. So yeah, thanks, and yeah.